We're here in the Green Cemetery in Glastonbury, Connecticut. The oldest marker in this yard, and the only dating to the 17th century, is this one carved by James Stanclift of Portland, dated 1698, who also carved this simple rounded top headstone dated 1704, as well as the one with the interesting attempt at a skull next door. His son William also begins carving by the end of the decade, first starting out with stones very similar to that of his father, though he begins using different stone shapes just a few years later, as well as incorporating rosettes through the 1710s. Note the early whirling rosettes on this marker, as well as the Momento Mori imagery of an hourglass and a pick and shovel. While this marker has almost a pine tree appearance in the rosettes, as well as this rare occurrence of him carving a face on a marker. By the middle 1720s, his son James Jr. often referred to, is also now carving stones. Here's another stone by his hands, and another showing the progression of his style. Through the 1730s, he would carve a series of elaborate markers. Markers so different they were once believed to have been done by a different unknown carver called the Glastonbury Lady. Thomas Johnson soon appears with his own stone featuring a Boston-inspired death's head and interesting whirling rosettes, though the Stanclift family remains the most popular carvers in the yard, this stone being by William, and this one by his son James. Note on this one also by James, it retains the early rounded shape used by his grandfather. The Thomas Johnson shop also carves simpler markers, while his brother Joseph Johnson begins placing stones here by the end of the 1730s, carving stones with winged souls inspired by that of his brother, who has now shifted away from the old skull design. Another such stone with very elaborate borders. The Stanclifts remained popular in the 1740s, this stone being by James Jr., this one by William, and another by his hands. Such markers, however, are plain and simple and are soon phased out in favor of the stones by Joseph and Thomas Johnson, this one being of the former, on that durable Windsor stone. The Stanclifts, however, retain their monopoly on the expensive table markers into the 1760s. One more by Joseph Johnson, this time a much simpler marker. By this point, most of the markers in this yard are being produced by either of the Johnson brothers, this one being by Thomas Johnson I, and this one by younger brother Joseph. Here's another by his hands, this time featuring plants and abstract designs in the lunette. By this point, the Stanclifts are only carving a small number of the markers in the yard, including this one by William, and this one by his son James Jr. Simpler stones are also available of the Johnson shop, though by the latter 1750s they were also capable of building stones like this. Now the shop had Thomas Johnson II, his son. During the 1750s, we also see our first non-brownstone carver in Gershom Bartlett from Bolton, Connecticut. Bartlett becomes very popular here and places a number of his more elaborate stones, including this one with these strawberry-like wings. Note the clover rosettes, which appear on almost all of his works. We also see the Johnson shop changing their cherub design to a smaller wing type, while Joseph Johnson places his last stone in the yard in 1760, after he had moved from Windsor to Middletown. Another Johnson shop stone of the period. Note how the chin bends down, while this one is more blocky. Hope you enjoyed.